Big games. Seattle goes to Jacksonville. This is pretty impressive. Seahawks are 4-1. Is that more impressive than the Jaguars being 4-1? What a job Liam Cohen has done in Seattle. Now, I don't know if they're living on borrowed time or they're doing it with smoke and mirrors. Trevor Lawrence is playing pretty respectable football in terms of not turning the ball over. Sam Darnold is just lighting it up in Seattle in terms of yardage downfield. Sam Darnold's got a quarterback rating of 106. So this is a tough game. The Seahawks travel more than anybody just based on where SeaTac Airport is. And I mean, their road trips to the East Coast are just vicious and forever. So we'll see if Sam Darnold and these guys, that defense is playing pretty well. I think they got 7 pass interceptions. We'll see if they go to Jacksonville and slow down this Jaguars team. Second game is the 49ers, Tampa Bay. Mac Jones has now had 3 really big-time games in a row, and he's going to start again. How the hell Seattle's doing this with all the injuries? And Christian McCaffrey is not running up massive numbers. This is pretty much Mac Jones' journeyman quarterback's accomplishments. They go play Baker Mayfield, and Mayfield right now is starting to flash some signs that, hey, consider me for NFL MVP. I think Mayfield's got 8 touchdown passes, only 1 interceptions. Buccaneers are playing really good defense. So this is going to be a great game. Mac Jones versus Baker. Detroit, Kansas City. Holy cow. You're just looking at the storyline here with the Lions. Jared Goff is having a phenomenal season. They're averaging like 403 yards per game on offense. Mahomes is doing a lot of good things, but they are still struggling. You know, if Kansas City loses on Sunday, they're going to be 2-4. Man, that's a big hole to have to dig out if you think you're still an elite team in the AFC West. So you got two red-hot quarterbacks, but the Chiefs just at this point don't seem to have enough around Patrick Mahomes. The other football stories there, Dallas Cowboys. Now, he flashed an obscene sign at the New York Jets fans last weekend after Dak Prescott threw his 4th touchdown in the game. An obscene sign with his middle index finger. And he can't tell me that he did that saying, we're number one, we're number one, we're number one. You got fined $250,000 by the NFL for that. Meanwhile, in Arizona, the Arizona Cardinals fined their coach, Jonathan Gannon, $100,000 for racing up the sidelines and physically assaulting one of his rookie running backs who was showboating after a 72-yard touchdown run and dropped the ball at the 1-yard line going in for what should have been the game-winning touchdown. Turned out to be a devastating touchback and an Arizona Cardinal loss last weekend. Gannon lost his mind on the sidelines. And because of the physical confrontation and what he said in the postgame press conference, his own club docked him $100,000. Gannon's got all kinds of injury problems on a team, and now he's got Kyler Murray's gotten hurt. Meanwhile, in Cincinnati, you need to explain this one to me. John, you're the smartest guy on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're admitting it now. Show me your driver's license.
The smartest guy, right? Okay.
I want to see your GPA on your driver's license. Here's a story. Cincinnati, desperate for quarterbacking because Jake Browning had thrown 8 interceptions since replacing Joe Burrow. Cincinnati trades a 5th-round draft pick, a 5th, which people hardly ever do, for a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Flacco has 2 practices and will be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season in Cincinnati. Just the way they do business in Cincinnati is so bizarre. And of course, that whole situation it's really gotten out of control. And the Raiders give a vote of confidence to a quarterback that right now nobody believes can win. Not with that offensive line, not with the problems with the Raiders. Geno Smith is staying in as starting quarterback. He's got 9 interceptions last 7 games and sacked 16 times. You know, waiting in the reserve is Ken Pickett. Who? Is Pickett better than Geno? Geno's not playing like Geno played for Pete Carroll in Seattle. So the Raiders have got quarterback problems. So, John, we got 3 marquee games and a bunch of controversy for you to make a comment on.
Well, I'm really happy for Liam Cohen. I mean, they're 4-1, and what'd you think of that play that Trevor Lawrence near the end of the game? He like tripped over one of his linemen's feet, fell backwards, got up, scrambled in, and Chris Jones just standing around with his like hands on his hips.
Yeah, Chris Jones taking a lot of heat in Kansas City. He's not played real well, and he's making mega money. I mean, you're not going balls to the wall on a goal line play to win you the game. I mean, it's really absurd. I don't know what's going on in Chris Jones' mind. Andy Reid never criticizes his players, but boy, the fans and the media are really after Chris Jones. Can you imagine being a Bengals fan and seeing all the junk on the field and the contract disputes? And now Burrow gets hurt again. He's had 5 major injuries in his career. And have Mike Brown trade a 5th-round draft pick for a 40-year-old quarterback who turns the ball over. Can you believe what's going on in Cincinnati?
Yeah, Joe Flacco to the rescue. One of my buddies, he grew up in Cincinnati. He always refers to them as the Bungles, and they made 2 Super Bowls. I mean, they've had moments, but Joe Burrow, man, he's just getting screwed there. You just feel bad for the guy, And by the way, that Cardinal team, that's weak sauce, man. That is an example of an organization that is weak. I mean, that guy, that showboated and fumbled the ball before going in the end zone. He should have had a coach get in his face. And I'm happy that the Arizona coach, Gannon got in his face to say this is unacceptable. And sometimes these guys need a little, if they need a bump or something, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm surprised Cardinal organization, Cardinal fan puts up with this losing attitude. I think it's ridiculous.
And what do you think about Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and the Raider Nation? I mean, I don't know anybody, myself included, that thought they'd be 1-4.
No, we had hope for this organization. We had hope that, you got a quarterback that, Geno Smith is not a Hall of Famer, but he's going to be a solid dude. He should maybe make this a 10-7 team, maybe an 11-6 team. You got Ashton Genty, who has all the promise in the world. They added some receivers, and they had the great tight ends. And you're thinking, hey, maybe something's cooking, got a good coach, and nothing's working. So I don't know. You got to give Pete Carroll more time here. I mean, he needs some offensive linemen. I mean, frankly, half the NFL is desperate for offensive line.
Well, their problems have just exploded because Colton Miller, their best offensive lineman, has got a fractured left ankle. Both their tight ends are hurt. Neither one's practicing. They're not going to play again. Defensively, they're just not stopping anybody. Max Crosby can't do this whole thing by himself defensively. So it's just a really fragmented football team. Okay, we get to halftime. You got opinions on any of the topics on the table? That Fans Forum chat box is open. You need to fill it up. Now, we're going to be here till the top of the hour. We'll get this done before we go to first pitch, Dodger baseball against the Phillies.